What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 2, Episode 5. The episode is titled What Happened in the Catskills. Alright, you guys, so before we go ahead and jump into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed, you guys know the routine. I need you guys to do me a solid favor, and I need to trim that up. I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and by sharing the video, you guys. And with that one out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, shall we? All right, you guys, so I'm going to start up with Marvin, and then we're going to keep going, right? So Marvin, now the episode actually opened up, and you guys remember that crackhead, the one that told Howard, the one that saw Kanan shoot Howard, right? Sorry, you guys, to be moving y'all around. That was a little too close to my face. But the crackhead who saw Kanan shoot Howard, right? We see him. We see him. Excuse me. We see him. He walking through the hood, you know, counting some money. So then we see him go to the projects, right? So he goes up to the door, knocking on the door, trying to get some, you know, some crack. And Marvin is like, "We closed." He kept knocking. Obviously, this nigga is fiending right about now, so he keep knocking. Marvin was like, "Here." He gave him some crack. "Keep your money, but tell everybody around here we not open yet." He was like, "You know what? I got you." Then he was looking at Marvin like, "What you got on?" So then we see Marvin, right? So Marvin went to the apartment complex where the man is in the wall, right? I wouldn't have been able to do it. I would have told Rock, "Sis, this is going to be something that you got to do on your own." So Marvin has the wall taken apart, right? We see the decaying body, and it's literally, at this point, it's just a skull. When Marvin took that body out of that wall and that head just broke back and he dropped it on the ground, I would have been done at that point. I would have called my sis up and said, "Hey, so this is your dealing, not mine. So if you want this body moved, you're going to have to come move it your damn self, because it just ain't going to be me." Then he Lysoled it. I'm like, it's still deceased. I don't care how many ways you spray that thing, he is still deceased. So then we next see Marvin. So Marvin is having a conversation with Renee. That is the woman that is in, you know, over the anger management course that he's in, right? So Renee is trying to get Marvin to open up to her. And I was actually on Marvin's side. I'm like, you know, now Marvin may show up to the class. He may not be as engaged, but he is there. When you do ask him questions, he does respond to you. So she wants him to open up more. And I'm just like, lady, just tell him you want just tell him what you really want. Because I'm telling you guys, at some point, Marvin and that woman are going to have sex. Period. Point blank. They gonna do the do. That's all I got to say. So he does tell her about his daughter, Juke. She says he's a teenager. She says, well, I don't know, whatever the fuck she is. But he says she ain't going to forgive me because I did some unforgivable shit to her. He said, I ain't do no sick shit to her, but I did something that's, you know, unforgivable. Hell, I wouldn't even be able to forgive myself. I'm glad you can say that, Marvin, because, I mean, you beat Jukebox up like she was a man, and then you called her a lady F-word. So I'm glad that Marvin can come to the realization that he ain't been the best to Juke. So then we later see Marvin in the episode, and Marvin, you guys now, I was looking, I'm like, wait a minute, is that Tony? Tony done got some highlights. I'm like, okay, Tony, you done got away from Marvin them, and you said, you know what, F it, girl. Tony is out shopping. So Marvin is watching Tony. So then this cop comes up to Marvin, knocks on the door. "What are you doing over here?" And it was a sense of, so you in this rich white neighborhood and you a nigga. I know you can't afford nothing over here. That's basically what he wanted to say, but he didn't say it, and it was just written all over his face. There was a lot of blatant racism in this episode, a whole lot of it, and that's so. We're gonna definitely discuss the racism in a little bit more detail in the episode. So then we see Tony left, so Marvin followed in behind Tony and found out where Tony's living at. Right? She kissed him, and he's like, "You don't even know where that mouth has been, my dude." So then he hits the corner. When he hit the corner, who was behind him? That cop was behind him. I'm like, Marvin, get your black ass back to your side of town. You know, I just hate when that happens, when they look at us and see us, and in areas that they be like, oh, I can imagine that you could, shop over here, live over here. It's actually happened to me once before, when my cousin and them lived in a particular neighborhood here in over in it's the Garland area of Dallas. It's Garland. The area is called Garland. My cousin and them live in this nice neighborhood, and these people were looking at us like we didn't belong there. I'm like, but my family has a house right here on the block corner, big house, can't miss it. But neither here nor there. Let's pause here. Let's move forward. All right, you guys. So next up, I want to talk about Lou. So we see Lou, we see Crown. They're at a radio, I believe they're at a radio station, right? So they're talking to a DJ, and they're trying to get him to spin this record from Zisa. Once again, I just want Lou to tell Zisa he wants to smash. I'm not saying that the girl can't sing, right? I'm not saying that Zisa can't sing, but Zisa is not, so this is the 90s. So Zisa is not a Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston. Who else was out in the 90s? Michel'le, Pebbles. Because even Lou mentioned Pebbles and Michel'le. She is not them. She's not Whitney, Michel'le, Pebbles, Mariah Carey. The list goes on and on. Celine Dion. She's not some of the big name artists from the 90s who actually, because I mean in the 90s, granted we had J-Lo, people like J-Lo, right? But she's not one of them big artists that you can, that was selling records, selling buku amounts of records. You know what? Zisa is not even Janet Jackson, and that's no shade to Janet, but she's not even comparable to them. Her voice is just like mayonnaise, to be honest with you. And I'm not saying that the girl can't. Again, I'm not saying that Zisa can't sing. She can sing. It's just she's not like, oh my God, did you guys hear that new Zisa record? Like, nah, that ain't Zisa. That ain't Zisa. Now, if it were Juke, yes. But even then, and even today is a little bit, it's a little bit, like I said before in the previous, not this past episode, but I think the one before that, when Juke was in the studio and Crown was talking about Juke's voice, but her appearance, right? It's still the same today, but I think today it's a lot more acceptable to, be a lesbian or be, more masculine presenting as a woman. It's a little bit more acceptable. Not that much, but it is, because at the end of the day, sex still sells. Unfortunately, they don't care about your voice, they don't care about your talent, they just care about selling the records, right? And it's so interesting because when you think about it, because you think about groups like TLC and Aaliyah, but even with them, they did wear, especially with Aaliyah, because you guys remember Aaliyah used to wear the big baggy short, the big baggy pants. And, she used to have her, she used to have the underwear, the boxers that you can see. So she still was able to do this quote unquote tomboyish thing, but she still had to sex it up at certain points, right? So, but with Zisa ain't it. So Crown and the boy, old dude, went out into the hallway. Crown is just really basically playing the shit out of Lou. But Crown, your time is coming up soon, my dude. Your time is coming soon. So when they left the studio, Crown was trying to tell, Lou how to talk to people, right? And Lou popped his ass and knocked him on the ground. And he was like, Lou, I'm tired of you hitting me. What you gonna do? So Crown shows him his gun. Lou said, nigga, you ain't gonna do shit with that. Says who? Says me, nigga. I was like, and he walked off. I'm like, Crown, yeah, you're not gonna make it to the end of this season. I just don't see Crown making it to the end. Crown is not gonna make it. So we see Zisa. So Zisa is leaving her place. Juke, she got the cassette tape. She throws it at Zisa, talking about, you stole my song. And she's like, what are you talking about? She's like, bitch, are you deaf? You stole my song. She's like, I ain't stealing nobody's shit. She says, who gave it to you, Crown? She says, no, it wasn't Crown. It was actually Lou who gave her the song. And Juke was like, ain't that about him? You gave my song. I'm your niece and you gave away my song. So then we see Juke. So Juke went down to the studio where, Lou is. And he's like, you know what? I should have asked you, Juke. She says, and I would have told you no. So now I don't know why Lou feels that Zisa hit that song out of the park. I'm thinking we're listening to two different songs, right? Because I don't hear it. I don't hear it, and I don't see it, right? Unless they're gonna do like what they said, what people have accused J Lo of doing for years, taking credit for Ashanti's work. So unless that's what they finna do, because the only person that hit that song out the park is your niece Juke, and not Zisa. I don't have an issue with Zisa. She just ain't that good. Let's just keep her. She's just not that good. So then the next time we see Lou in the studio, Fame is there, right? So Lou is playing this beat, and Fame, I'm gonna need Fame to stop saying nigga. Him saying nigga, it just don't ever sit right in my spirit. Don't ever sit right in my spirit. But he says it. But Lou tells him like, hey, if you want to get back in the studio, little nigga, I need you to write something. So he was like, I ain't know nothing about, Jessica and Crown. I was like, neither did Lou. Lou played like he knew about Jessica and Crown, but he did not know. Because he's like, she came home and her hair was all messed up. I just thought it was because, he was driving with the window down, but they was smashing. I was like, ooh, Crown, you might want to run, bitch. Run. So, you guys, the last thing with Juke, because I'm including Juke since she went and saw Lou at the studio. So we see Juke with her hair out, like her hair is down. I was like, oh, this is Laverne. This ain't Jukebox, this is Laverne. So Kenya and the choir, they're singing, right? And Kenya was telling them that, my daughter Juke can sing. And then there's this boy that came in there. He's like, can I get your digits? And she was like, never gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen because she don't like men. So they have Juke come up and sing, and baby, when she sang, baby, Juke turns, actual scratch it, not Juke, Haley Kilgore, she killed that. That young lady, she is so, I listened to her single on YouTube recently. Her voice is just so angelic. I love her voice. She has a beautiful singing voice. And I didn't realize she was as young as she is. Like, what, Haley Kilgore is like, what, 22, 23 years old? I didn't realize she was that young. I was literally thinking that she was a lot closer to my age. I thought she was like maybe her late 20s, early 30s, but no, she is in her early 20s. So how old is the boy that plays Kanan? I wonder how old he is. I need to look that up. Now, I do believe he is young. I want him to stop clenching his jaw when he talks. That's neither here nor there. Let's pause here and let's move forward, you guys. All right, you guys, so let's just go ahead and knock these two out the way. Howard and Burke. So, at one point in the episode, Howard pulled up on Jukebox and he said, I've been paging Kanan. And he asked her, where's Kanan at, right? And we'll talk about where Kanan is in just a minute. She told him wherever the fuck he wants to be. I was like, you know what? I can't disagree there, right? So then we see Burke. I'm gonna need Burke to meet the end of a bullet at some point this season, because Burke is going to be just as annoying as Angela Valdez ever was, and I think she's a little bit worse, right? When it comes to Burke, she is up there with Angela and Detective Rodriguez. And you guys know, for me, it's Detective Rodriguez, it was Angela, and Burke is somewhere in the middle. Actually, yeah, Burke is in the middle. I'm gonna say that Burke is in the middle. Because I did hate Angela, but I hated Angela, but I hate, Detective Rodriguez a whole hell of a lot more. I hate Detective Rodriguez just a little bit more than I do Angela. But Burke is tiptoeing. So Burke is right here. Nope, scratch that lie. Burke and Rodriguez are neck and neck. With two, like I legitimately can't stand either one of them. So Burke gotta go. So you guys remember, Burke has been following Howard around, right? So she picked up Andrea, that's her name, the girl that he's been sleeping with, that he's been paying, right? So she wants to know what information she can give her on Howard. She tells her, I don't know anything, we just have sex and that's it. He don't tell me, I'm not his therapist, right? So she says, okay, well, if you can't tell me something, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down to, CPS and, tell them what kind of line of work you do, and they gonna take your son from me. I'm like, well, damn, bitch, that's fucked up. You gonna threaten to take this woman's child because she can't tell you anything about your partner that you don't trust? This ain't gonna bode well for you either. This ain't gonna bode well for you. But Andrea eventually tells her that, Howard told her that he has a son. He hasn't mentioned anything about the shooting, but she does mention a son. So Burke is like, a son. I'm like, oh my God. This woman is like a dog. This woman is a dog with a bone. So that's that. So then we see Andrea. She's talking to Burke, not Burke, but Howard. And I was like, they can't do nothing to you about because of what you do. It ain't like you putting a cigarette out on the boy. The boy is not in any harm's way. How you make your money is how you make your money, right? It's illegal, but you still make money to take care of your son. So they're not gonna take. Well, actually they would, wouldn't they? They actually would take her son because they would deem that as not a suitable environment for a child, right? I think they would take her son, but whatever. But they would have to prove that she's a woman of the night. Right? They would have to prove that, and that means that they would have to. Oh, well, never mind, sis. Don't listen to Howard or me. Never mind, sis. But he put her ass out. He was pissed off at her. He told her they are done. And honestly, I don't blame him. But I wonder what Howard is going to do when it comes to Burke. That's what's going to be interesting to see. So you guys, let's pause here and let's move forward and wrap up the episode. All right, you guys. So the episode consisted of Rock and Kanan, right? So Rock went to Kanan's room and she woke him up. So Rock is telling Kanan that, hey, get your stuff, get some stuff because I know it's cold outside. Get some stuff together. You and I, we finna go camping. So they're going to go to Catskills, right? So they're gonna go camping. So Marvin came over with another car for them, and he was being watched by the Italians. Now, when he was being watched by the Italians, there's this one particular Italian racist. Actually, both of them are racist because one of them, he was like, there were some colored people that just moved into my neighborhood. They don't say nothing to me. I don't say nothing to them. They don't bother me. We good. Then the other Italian is like, what are you gonna do when first he said, first of all, it was colored people. Then he said, if they licorice son, get with your daughter. I was like, licorice, excuse you? Then he kept saying nigger with the hard ER. I was like, whoa, sir, what the fuck is going on here? So, and they had an issue with the fact that Marvin had gold chains. I'm like, say what? I would, oh no. The Italians have got to go. They gotta go. So, we see Kanan. So Kanan went to Juke because Kanan asked Rock, was Juke coming with them? She says, nah, Juke is gonna stay behind. It's just gonna be me and you. So Kanan went to Jukebox's room and said, you not coming camping with us? She says, no. Your mom just wants to be you and her, and I'm cool with that. He says, I'm not cool with it because me and my mom, we ain't talking right now. He says, shit ain't good with us. Like, you guys, he really, I know he is trying to mimic 50 Cent, but god damned. That clenched, his jaw is so clenched, and it's annoying. So he tells her that, he did the same thing she did with Kenya. He looked the cop in the eye. Something about it seems familiar, and he doesn't really believe that the cop is not, he doesn't believe him that he's lying. And Juke is like, that nigga is lying. That's what cops do, they lie. I'm like, some cops do lie, but this cop ain't lying. It's your auntie Rock that's lying. So we see Rock and Kanan as they're getting ready to leave, right? And so yeah, they're leaving. Now they're not in her car. She said she didn't want to track the mud on her car. I'm like, girl, you's a lie. What you don't want is that dead body in your car. Because I figured it out after a certain point. Because Kanan like, why are we going in a different car? And she told him, right? So Kanan was about to put their stuff in the trunk. Marvin says, put the shit in the car. He's like, what's the purpose of having a trunk if you ain't putting nothing in? So Marvin said, once again, Kanan, listen. You're not listening. Put it in the car. So Kanan puts the stuff in the car. So Marvin told Rock, like, hey, the body's in there. I sprayed that nigga with air freshener and it's little, it's little, little trees all in the car. So you won't smell the body. Babe, I couldn't drive around in a car with a decaying body. I can drive around in the trunk with a decaying body in my trunk, or someone that I kidnapped, or someone that was kidnapped. Just couldn't do it, right? Could not do it. So when Rock and Kanan left, they were followed by the two Italian men. So we see Rock and Kanan, so they driving. So Rock is asking Kanan about Davina. So he says he talked to one of her cousins and he found out that Davina is down there in South Carolina. What happened with her? Okay, that's right. I was like, what? I know what happened with Davina, but I couldn't remember if her mom. But I think her mom died last season, right? Yeah, they found her dead body. They found her dead body last season. So she asked him, "Is there somebody else?" He says, "Well, there's this." At first, he was, not really talking to her, but then he tells her there's this girl in Fame's building that he has a thing for, right? So they make it up to the cabin and they go to, get the key and everything. So Rock is using an alias this week. She is going by Mrs. Jones. I'm like, oh, okay. I understand why she did it because once again, they got that decaying ass body in the back of that trunk, right? So Kanan made a little friend. Her name is Hannah. Hannah is white. Hannah's white. So we see Kanan and Rock. So at one point, they were by the campfire, right? And they were having this again, the conversation between Kanan and Rock is very awkward. Kanan ain't giving much to Rock. Rock is asking him a lot of questions, but she's not getting a lot of answers. So Kanan was like, you know what? I'm about to go back to the, go back down and get me a soda. So Kanan left. So when Kanan left, that's when the two Italians, one of them was there to take out Rock. The other one was going to just make sure that, Kanan didn't come back before the job was done. So keep that in mind. So we see Kanan, so him and Hannah, they smoking a blunt, right? And then they get ready to kiss. Now, remember, I told you, these Italians are racist, right? So as Kanan and the girl was about to kiss, that's when that one Italian came up and said something to Kanan. Oh, God, I wish they would have just unlived him. So when he did that, Rock came up and stopped him. Now, what I just omitted, which I completely forgot about it, but it's in my notes because it's just down a little bit further. But when Kanan left Rock, the one that was going to take her out, she heard rustlings in the bushes, right? She heard some rustling. She thought it was Kanan. She's like, Kanan, I know that you trying to scare me. So then, as he was about to take his shot, there's this man and his son come up looking for some firewood, so he wasn't able to get Rock. That is why Rock was able to go stop Kanan. She told him, what have I told you about them white girls? Like, leave them white girls alone. In the 90s, for a black man and a white woman, it wasn't a good thing, just saying. So then we do later see them as they're by the campfire, right? And, they are making s'mores and, Rock is just talking to Kanan about the business, how, it's his if he wants it. So Kanan said he didn't initially know if he wanted the business, but at this point he does want the business. So Rock says, okay, well, I need your help with something. Child, we see them, and that is when they are burying that damn body. Oh, God, I just couldn't do it, baby. Couldn't do it. So now we're at the point where Kanan and Rock are getting ready to leave the cabin, and they're going to go back home. So Kanan is going to go take the key back to the front desk, right? So Kanan leaves to go do that, and the two Italians, once again, they're going to split up. So I'm still confused. You know what? I get it, but I don't get it at the same time because the one dude tells him, don't mess with that kid. He's racist. He is hardcore racist. You are a mild racist, but this is a hardcore racist. But so Kanan walked by Hannah's cabin, right? She's like, you were going to leave without seeing me? He's like, nah, I was hoping I would see you. So he went inside. So they were about to, do something, but racist over here has an issue with black people commingling with white people, right? And this ain't even his child, right? So the other one that's supposed to be taking Rock out, he goes into the cabin. He got the gun drawn with the silencer on it. And I also forgot to mention that Rock, when they went to get the cabin, she bought a knife, right? So she got the drop on him. Now she was like, if I kill you, then I'm gonna start a war with your boss. If I let you go, you guys are gonna continuously keep coming after me. So then we hear Hannah screaming, talking about he's gonna, unlive Kanan. So they went to try to. So Rock went after, to go find Kanan. So they get in there. Kanan and that dude, they tussling, and he pulls a gun on Kanan. He was about to shoot Kanan, but now he got popped. So his partner popped him, and Rock was like, you know what? Me and your boss, we gonna work something out. But me and my son right now, we finna get the fuck out of here. And they were like, what about this little white girl right here? They were like, Rock was like, she ain't gonna be no problem because if you say something, my people gonna come after you and they people gonna come after you. So it's best for you just to shut the fuck up. And she was like, okay, bitch, I ain't got nothing to say. Also, you guys, I forgot to mention, on top of that one racist one keeps saying nigger with the ER, the hard ER, he called Kanan a monkey. Baby, these Italians gotta go. But I don't know why I be forgetting some. I guess sometimes I do forget that Italian people don't really see, especially the mob Italians, don't really see it for black people. I forget about that sometimes, and I don't know how. But overall, it was a pretty good episode, you guys. I want you guys to let me know what you guys thought about it. Get down in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, you guys. Like the videos. Subscribe to the channel. Turn your post notifications. Share the video. And until the next time, you guys, stay safe. Take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. Socially distance. Be blessed. And I will catch you guys in the next one. So I'll see you guys later on tonight for Real Housewives of Atlanta, the reunion, and Married to Madison. All right, you guys.